Hey, hey, it's Ronai. I'm here with Shannon. Shannon, we're
Oh,
doing an afternoon. Like most of the time it's like good morning, but we're trying an afternoon. Uh,
yeah.
so you've had a little rough voice.
Yeah, Shannon's been sick for a few days, so I felt like my cough and congestion is not, I mean, it's at its peak performance at like 8 a.m., so we really, not a good time to be talking and on camera. It would have been not good.
And it was good because I went to an event with my daughter, which was like a little teeny craft thing that was actually at a government building. It was kind of fun because we had to like do all the check-in and everything. So you get me as a lumberjack or actually lumberjill is what I would be. But I was like, what do I have that's kind of holiday-ish? So I went with Hallmark Holiday, where I'm
So funny. I'm glad you said that because I was going to be like, okay, I hope that I don't think this will offend you because we've talked about this before, but I'm like, you are so giving me holiday Hallmark movie vibes right now.
that's what I went for. So I'm super
Yeah.
glad that that worked. I actually had a scarf on earlier, but right now I have to put it on 'cause I'm in the basement. It's cold. It's
Maybe you should write Hallmark. I think you have the perfect look for it. And I think what a great Hallmark holiday movie. They always have. So now think about this. Hang with me. They always have, because I've watched like 50 of them so far this year. Especially when I'm sick, I just turn them on at night. And from some of the streaming things, they'll go from one to the next to the next. So they're even playing while I'm sleeping right now. Um, but they're always like these young people finding love for the first time. We need to have one with like us middle-aged people, which is, I mean, I
to
always thought
just stay
middle-aged
married
people were old, but yeah, who like re-fall in love in a deeper sort of love and a, you know what I mean? Like all
as
the
they get
kids
more
have,
chickens.
yeah, well, whatever it is, the kids have left the nest. I don't know. There's stories there. I'm telling you.
Michael says I'm in henopause. It's where you just keep getting more, you just keep getting more chickens.
Oh, that's funny. I could be a slippery slope depending on how the hormones go.
It totally could. A couple. Let's go with our oil education of the day for this time of year. On guard. On guard is like your number one support. This is going to support your
Yeah,
immune system. Little on guard, you can put a drop or two on your feet, rub your feet together. You can put some in your water. It's spicy, just so you know,
yeah,
on the spicy side, but this supports your immune system. And then AirX in your diffuser, it actually cleans and sanitizes your air. It's bright and holiday well no, if you put a drop of On Guard and a drop of AirX in your diffuser, then you get a little bit more of a holiday vibe
yeah.
going on. And breathe. This one is a must-have for when you are having congestion. It helps open up your airways. So that is
And
my
your eyeballs.
in your eyeballs. No eyes,
Yeah.
nose, or sensitive bits for
No, but I put it, I like, so I inhale it, but then I just like want more of it. So I actually dab it right under my nose, which is close enough to your eyes that then like your eyes start watering. So it's a whole event at my house.
and it's fine if it makes your eyes water, just
Yeah.
don't wipe them because that's
No.
it
No,
becomes
no.
painful.
So what about Purify? Does Purify fall into, how does Purify compare to AirX? What's the difference?
AirX smells better. Purify Purify is great for like killing germs. Like it will kill mold, all sorts of like it's
Okay.
great. But the aroma is not my favorite. It's
I
great
agree.
for taking that musty smell out of things. So I put Purify in my laundry.
That's what we do too. But I wondered about the,
And in the diffuser it's great, but I would then mix in other oils that make it smell better.
yeah. I
Um
love to run on guard this time of year anyway, because it smells so cinnamon spice and clove type smell.
I was gonna say On Guard and Tangerine together. So I'll do like 3 drops On Guard and like 5 drops Tangerine. And it's just this like really holiday warm. Or you can do Wild Orange and Clove. Like there's just some really good warm, spicy aromas for this time of year. Cinnamon's always great. Like just straight up cinnamon.
Yeah.
Because our cinnamon smells like Red Hots. Like it's just like it's so good.
Spicy.
Yeah. Um, so there's lots of different choices this time of year. Just find something that makes you feel comfortable too. And if you want to mix and match, one of my favorite things to do is like I will pull the lids off of a couple, and as you hold the lids,
Oh,
that way you'll be able to tell like, okay, this will smell good together, but if one of them stands out more than the other, then you can use less of that one if you want a more
yeah.
balanced aroma. Because
That's smart.
you want that low note, that middle note, and that high note where it blends nicely together. But if one is too much, then you just use a little bit less.
Does
Like you,
On Guard have citrus in it?
On Guard has wild orange, but
Does it? Okay.
I'm a citrus girl. Like I'm a straight up citrus, love all the citruses. But when you take On Guard and then add a little bit of, so the On Guard is definitely stronger than the tangerine, which is why I
Yeah.
do 3 drops On Guard to 5 drops tangerine, because I just want to add more of that bright, um, delicious smell of tangerine in there.
I just think it's interesting what your senses pick up because when I run On Guard, I smell like pure cinnamon and clove. And then I'll get some people come into my house and they'll be like, why do I smell oranges? Like,
Hmm.
why? Like, I don't smell the orange as much.
And see, Leanne likes to mix On Guard with Citrus Bliss, which is another good choice.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, it's just the On Guard and tangerine for me.
Huh. I
But
will say,
that's,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I also just like Citrus Bliss just on its own.
So, yeah, that's true. I do too, actually. Um, Follow up to a different oil discussion we had one day. We talked about past tense, and you were talking about the past tense stick for headaches.
So good.
Uh, I felt like yesterday I was like, oh, that talk was for such a moment as this. After that, I ordered one of the past tense sticks. And since I'd never used it before and didn't know it was for headaches, I'd used it for other stuff in the oil. It finally occurred to me yesterday, after 3 days of having a headache, that, oh my gosh, I should try the past tense stick. First of all, I probably went a little overboard because I was not feeling well yesterday. So I rubbed it like all through all down my face. I just like
Oh, yeah, too
on
much.
the back of my neck. No, it was not too much because you don't understand.
It
But
was not bad.
it was amazing. Like, and I wasn't sure how much it would help because it wasn't like a stress headache. Like it's all this sinus pressure headache and nothing. I mean, I had taken, okay, not the approach I know we're going to take, but I'm just telling you, I was in desperate mode by this point. I had done everything I knew how to do, and I had taken 2 Tylenol and like 3 ibuprofen. Yeah, like I had gone heavy duty, like I need to get, and nothing would touch this headache. And I put that past tense on. I could not believe how well it worked and that was it. It didn't come back.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more when it's a sinus thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna seem weird when you're all stuffed and it's pressure. DigestZen
Okay.
along here and in your belly button. DigestZen eats mucus. And then
Oh.
if you want to intensify it, lime. So DigestZen and lime.
I
Crazy
do the
combination.
lime because you told me once before to do lime
And breathe. Lime and
and
breathe.
breathe. Yeah.
But the DigestZen, it clears up
Interesting.
mucus.
Okay.
I know, crazy. There you go.
Good talk. These are good tips.
All right. So you alluded to something fun that I just came out with recently. Have you, or maybe that was when we were praying earlier.
No, we were praying. I prayed about it before we got so no, you are alluding to something right now.
I'm alluding to something right now. Have you had a chance to look it over?
I have not.
Okay. So, you guys,
I've been sick since you sent it to me.
I was inspired to do a 5-day Bible study looking at Bible stories through the lens of strengths, and not just strengths, but the okay, domains. So in strengths, it's called domains, but in my book, I call them spheres because Gallup gives you 4 domains. Like, so the Clifton Strengths gives you 4 domains. In my book, there's 5 spheres because you have connection, which is relationship building. You have impact, which is influencing. You have action, which is executing, and you have wisdom, which is strategic thinking, and then you have divine empowerment, which is Christ in you.
Yeah.
So just bear with me as I go through this. And Leanne, I love how Leanne will get inspiration and be like, Ronai, you need to do this, because I do that to her all the time. And I got so excited about this, and it's been so beautiful looking at different Bible stories through this lens and put together. And now, as I start to look at other stories, I'm gonna give you a perfect example, and I have to pull it up here because I started a Bible study. We're trying to get through all of the four Gospels this month. And
Oh, 1 month.
a friend of mine, Dondra, put this out there, and she's get like, read these chapters, let's do some. And the first day, I was looking at the first couple chapters in, hold on, I'm trying to get to where I put this. Anyway, it's in Matthew, and I looked at one verse, and that's why I'm trying to pull it up because it's like so much stuff. But if you look at it from all of the sphere lens, talk amongst yourself for a second while I pull this up. Like,
Talk amongst yourself.
tell
You
me
do
what you're
realize I'm
excited
the
about
only other person on
this.
here.
Tell me what you're excited about this while I pull this other thing up because it was just so cool.
So I think one of the things that excites me most about the lens that you're doing this through in terms of strengths is just the fact that the Bible can seem so difficult and distanced. It can be a hard read for some people. And not only that, but I mean, you almost feel so far removed from that place and that time that I think sometimes people don't make the connection of these are real human beings just like you and I living in a different period of time. And I think when you can tie it together through something like strengths that really makes sense, like it
Yeah.
just makes it makes the Bible become like a pop-up book, you know what I mean? Like really 3D and like, ooh, can't wait to turn to the next page and see what pops up next.
Well, and I had to write all this out because it was just like intense. So that's what I'm going to share with you. So just looking at Matthew 4:6. So this is where the devil is tempting Jesus. And saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So this is Satan tempting Jesus, and all five of the spheres show up here, but they're twisted, not in the way that I'm like having you look at how this can be so good and positive. This is how Satan twists them. So here, the sphere of connection, which is relationship builder, Satan tries to break Jesus's connection with the Father by planting doubt. So if you are the Son of God, this attacks Jesus' identity, intimacy, and relationship with God. The true sphere of connection anchors identity in God. The enemy tries to anchor identity in performance. Sphere
Hmm.
of impact or influencer, the enemy tries to influence Jesus into proving his worth in front of others. Throw yourself down. So to perform or impress or display power, this impact without obedience or its influence without submission, atmosphere shifting without God leading. So true impact is spirit led, not ego led. Then the sphere of action, which is executing. Satan calls Jesus to take action outside of the Father's will, a reckless, self exalting action that God never commanded. This is the enemy's favorite tactic: action without assignment, movement without mission, activity without obedience. And then the sphere of wisdom, which is strategic thinker, Satan quotes scripture, but out of context and without truth. For it is written, he uses wisdom language without actual wisdom. This is counterfeit discernment. Scriptures used manipulatively. So true wisdom submits to God's heart and God's timing. Counterfeit wisdom uses the Bible to justify rebellion. And then the sphere of divine empowerment, which is from my book, not Gallup, says Satan tries to tempt Jesus to presume on God's supernatural protection. The angels will catch you. This is demanding empowerment instead of receiving empowerment. It's trying to control God instead of surrendering to God. The enemy tries to make Jesus use the Spirit's power without the Spirit's leadership. True divine empowerment is Spirit initiated, never self-initiated. So,
Yeah.
anyway, just like one verse, looking at it through different lenses. And then I've started so in the Bible study that I worked on, it's looking at different stories, and and one of the things that we talked about last week is doing a women's study. And so that's when Leanne and I were talking again, and
Uh, the comment is now coming together for me. Yeah, okay.
so Leanne and I started talking again, and now I'm putting together another Bible study, but I want to focus on the women in the Bible
Yeah.
and then looking at those stories. Because in the first study, I do the woman at the well, right? Such a great story. Like it's just so
Hmm.
beautiful how you can see Jesus using all of those. And I started looking at the women who bled for 12 years, right? So I'll give you a sneak peek of that. Let me find it because I've been working on this. So that's in Mark 5:25 through 34. It's also Luke 8:43 to 48. So you get to pick which way you're going to look at it. But this woman had been socially disconnected for 12 years due to her condition. And when she reaches out to touch Jesus's cloak, he stops and he calls her daughter. And it's so beautiful because just that one word restores her sense of belonging and connection. She had been reviled by everyone. She had been kicked out of her home that like her own father wouldn't speak to her because she was unclean. Like, can you even imagine? Like, I can't even imagine. But just letting her know that she is seen and he brings her back into community and affirms her worth in front of everyone by calling her daughter. Like how amazing is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I mean I could go on and I don't know if I want to like share all this now or if I want to do this later, but it's been so amazing again looking at this through this lens of the different spheres because it brings it more real and more personal for me as a strengths coach.
Well, and that's what I was saying. I think that's the gift in it in general, is it makes it more real and relatable for anyone. Because it's like I was thinking just as you said, um, you know, for the years and years that the suffering was happening. And how often do we have things come up today? I mean, like, I think of things like fibromyalgia, anxiety, depression, these things that like exist so prevalent in our society, but are real general descriptions of something more complicated that you can't necessarily put your finger on, if you get what I'm saying.
Hmm.
And it's like most people that have, I especially hear it with people with fibromyalgia, where it's like they're just so discouraged. And it's this thing that just is on and on and on. And nobody necessarily understands it. A lot of people don't have sympathy for it. A lot of like, it's kind of one of those things. And so when you were reading that, that was what came to mind for some reason. I'm like, is now, how somebody from today's world could connect with the idea of here I have this thing that I suffer from that nobody understands or doesn't necessarily.
Well, and you can start to feel more isolated because you pull back from different things,
Right,
pain or you're grumpy. Like when I'm in pain, I'm grumpy, right?
right.
And you don't want to be around people but can you imagine just that isolation? So for me, I think about deaf people because they're so isolated, right? I have a lot of deaf friends and they're around people and still, unless those people are signing, there's no communication. They're completely isolated.
Yeah.
And that's what this woman was, completely isolated. She couldn't be around people. It's just so sad. And then to be pulled into community
Right.
with one word, like how beautiful is that? Ah,
Yeah, and I think it's things like that that can be a reminder to people who are struggling with different things that there's hope in that, and
yeah,
that in the middle of that is God.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. There's a deaf man, and I've seen him, or he talks about how hard it is for him to go to churches, and that a lot of deaf people don't go to church and they don't know Christ because there's not a lot of that community or
right.
communication. And he's like, because a lot of people say, well, we can't hear God. And he's like, are you kidding? We hear him better because God is in the silence. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, yes.
That was the first thing I thought is I'm like, I bet you they hear God better than because they don't have all the other chaos and the other noises.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Well,
Yeah.
now we know what Renee is going to start doing once a month at church. She's going to be the uh,
I can't sign that well anymore, but I can communicate with people. And I actually do I sit up front now. I go to the early service because there's a woman there, Mandy, who she doesn't know a lot of sign language, but she knows the word, like certain words, and she's just up there signing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stand next to her because sometimes music, like it moves through your body.
yeah.
A lot of times it just comes out on my hands and signing. And I I do like a church where you can raise your hands and
Um, I went
that
and
would be a
saw.
maybe.
I think signing is fascinating, and I think one of the things that's most fascinating about it is it's just as difficult as the English language. Like there's all these different
Oh
variations and
gosh.
all these different things, and it's like, oh my goodness! Like I went to try and learn signing once, and I think I got like 3 weeks into it, and I was like, I don't have the time. At the point in time, I had 3 young children. I was like, this is a really bad time to try and choose to learn this.
Okay, music and sign language is it because worthy is the lamb. No, this
Yeah.
is a sign for lamb, like ba lamb. It's like worthy is the lamb, which would be worthy Jesus Christ, right?
Mm,
So you have to switch. And so a lot of times I'll be signing, I'm like, oh, that's not how you say. So I get lost in how I would sign it. Um,
yeah.
yeah, but it's fun because then you have to really think about what the words are saying.
I went and saw a friend of mine and I went, so this is so off topic. Not that this is surprising for us, but I went and saw a comedian in Rockford, Illinois recently with a friend, and he's a small person, and he was doing a whole bit on handicapped people or whatever, and having this whole thing and being part of the disabled family and him, and I don't remember how all he said it, but um he doesn't use any of the PC words for anything, so he said it that way. And he was talking about the deaf community, and he was talking just about how he loves the deaf community, talking about all these things, and then he was talking about how he has them teach him like what did he say? He said he was on stage. It started because he said he was on stage doing his bit, and he was doing this little political bit, and he said Trump's name, and they did like this sign for it. And he's like, wait, like stop. He stops the show and he's like, there's a sign language sign for Trump, like a specific for Trump. And they're like, yeah. And so now I'm wondering, does that happen for every president?
Yes. So every president is assigned, because otherwise you'd be finger spelling their name every single time. So
Right.
it's established usually at the beginning of their presidency, just because it's so much easier. And so that kind of, I don't know the sign for Trump though. I'd have to look that up.
He said, I'm not going to do it right.
Obama was something like, I can't remember. It's been like a really long time.
Okay, so this is what he said, and he said this is true. I don't know if this is true or not, anybody. So go Google it, YouTube it, or whatever. But what made him laugh and stop is he said when every time he said Trump, she was going like this with like the
I
flopping
I
hair.
think
Yeah,
you said it and I was like, I think it's something with his hair. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Homer.
how? But it reminded me that sign language is just like, I don't know. I think it's so difficult, just like the English language. It's like how we add new words into the English dictionary every year. It's like sign language is adding new stuff too to keep up with the different things changing in time, which is crazy to me. If you're looking it up, now you want to
I
know.
am looking it up. I'm looking it up. So you have to, this person's going really slow. So they said not all of them have name signs, but the more well-known ones definitely have it. Like President Lincoln and but not every single president. Current presidents would definitely have one because there's a lot of signing, or there's a
Right,
lot of presidents, or sorry, interpreters. So
right.
let's see. So this is the sign for president, just so you know, like president of anything.
President,
You're just signing president.
president.
And I knew that. Um, oh, it's going through all of them. I just wanted to get to Trump.
For every
Oh,
president. Uh,
oh wait. There's also one apparently for Joe Biden. So you would
is it
figure,
like this? This is Joe Biden's just like you
hold
smack your
on.
forehead.
Oh, this is what it is. Trump.
Oh, okay.
Trump.
Which is interesting because he was like, he just flapped his hand like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it's like the
Uh,
home over. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
it's just,
I told you it was a complete
aren't you glad
sidestep. That's
if you're still watching, aren't you glad you're still watching today?
uh it's I mean it's a cool concept though, sign language and like how you don't stop to think of you only know what you know, so you just think, oh, sign language is just this simple. You don't stop to think about how it evolves or how overly complicated it is. Just in like your one example of the lamb, it's like, no, lamb not in Mary Had a Little, lamb as in, our Lord and Savior.
So when I went to Ghana, um, the first time, Ellie was 14, she's 28, so 14 years ago,
Hmm.
we went, and one of the things that we worked with the kids on understanding is the difference between exact signed English or ASL, which is American Sign
Hmm.
Language. And they use American Sign Language over there. They also have Ghanaian Sign Language. But American Sign Language is not universal. It is a combination of about 30% French Sign Language, a lot of like local home signs that were pulled together. Anyway, it's its own thing. I went to Germany and I met some deaf people, and it was like we were playing charades trying to figure out. But one of the things that we talked to the kids and we wrote on the board, my nose is running. And
Mm.
so we're like, how do you guys sign it? And they're like, my nose is running. I'm like, it's running? So this is the sign for like somebody who's running or a person. So a person's running. This is running like a
Yeah.
person. Instead, it would be like nose running, like a faucet. Like turn on a faucet, the faucet runs. So you have to understand those differences.
Yeah.
It's also in a different word structure. So instead of I am going to the store, go store I. Like that's I'm going to the store. But
Hmm.
it's go store I.
Tell me, how do you do the, or don't you? Like in the American language, you have so many issues with they, their, and their, the
They.
THEIR,
Well, it's
THERE.
the sentence. Like the people they, like that group there, they.
But what about like
Their
there, and there?
their stuff, or are you going there?
So it's, yeah, see, so it's different depending on how it is there. So
Yeah, so there, like the group there, or there, like their stuff, or go there.
I feel like people get it right in sign language more often than they do in penmanship. Like,
Yes. It's a
Uh,
little bit easier because it's the concept of, and that's what your writing is the concept of there, or there,
yeah.
right? And it's spelled differently because the concept of each one is different. So it's actually much easier to just go, oh no, it's their stuff. Go
Is
there.
there male, female? So like I know in the Spanish language, there's like the male red, the female red, though, whatever. Like everything has
Um,
like a male or female sort of.
Not like
Oh,
that, no. But
okay.
you're talking about the girl or the boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm off my
And
tangent
y'all,
now.
if I'm wrong, because first off, I have been out of the ASL game for a good 14 years. So I was in a car accident, which just kind of caused me to step out of pursuing a career as an interpreter, led me to essential oils, led me down the road to become a holistic health coach, which led me to strengths coaching, which led me here.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I can't even be mad about that car accident because I love what I do now.
Yeah. Put you on the path.
Okay, I do have one more thing that you don't even know about this yet because it just started Sunday night.
Okay.
Okay, you know how Eddie has the I get to and I don't have to with strengths. You guys, listen,
Yes.
strengths is so awesome because when you understand and you're working in your top strengths, you're like, I get to do these things, and your bottom strengths down here, you're like, I don't have to. I don't have to do those things. That is not my wheelhouse,
My favorite part. Yep.
right? So hold on. Let me like I get to get excited about meeting new people and winning them over. I don't have to analyze every decision I'm going to make or look at different things because analytical, it's my 34. I don't have to do that, right? But what if we put that in a biblical sphere, right?
Okay.
Talents. So give me a talent you want to talk about.
A talent I want to talk
A
about
strength,
that.
a talent. What is, throw one out there that you want to hear about.
Am I better off? So I want to know because you know me. Am I better off picking one of my low ones or one of my high ones for whatever
Doesn't matter.
example?
Either way.
Really? All right, let's go with achiever.
Achiever. Okay, so achiever is mission mover.
Yep.
And I have achiever high at like number 9. Where's your achiever?
Number 7.
Number 7. All right. So you get to partner with God to bring momentum, progress, and completion to assignments He entrusts to me because God empowers me to move forward with holy stamina and purpose. Philippians 4:13, I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. Now, let's say you have achiever low. You're like, I I mean, that sounds super awesome. I want to do that, but it's not high in my strengths. Well, guess what? I don't have to create momentum in my own strength because God doesn't need me to force outcomes He hasn't assigned. Zechariah 4:6, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord Almighty.
So do consistency.
Uh, okay. Consistency. I have consistency low. What
Yeah,
about
it's my number 34.
So this is where, if you have consistency, I get to honor people with fairness, steadiness, and integrity because God invites me to reflect his justice in the way I show up. Micah 6:8. Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly, right? But if you don't have consistency high, I don't have to make everyone happy or treat every situation the same because God doesn't need me to be rigid. He needs me to be faithful. Colossians
Ooh.
3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord.
Ooh, see?
See,
I
so
like
like for
that.
those who have it high, you get something beautiful. But if you're like, I mean, that's beautiful, that sounds great, but I don't have it high and I don't want to do that. Well, guess what? You don't have to because God created you differently. He gave you
Yeah.
different talents and different grace, and you get to look at it from your lens, not somebody else's. So,
So what's happening with that?
which with what?
Well, where is that information you now have available? Is that part of
I literally finished it last night, so I
Like, is
haven't
this
decided
flashcards?
where I
Like, what's
like it's literally you guys are getting the very first look at it because I still have to go through make sure that all the scriptures, like as I went through it the first couple times, like I adjusted some different things, and sometimes it was like, this doesn't feel right, so I have to go through it again and make sure, but it will be somewhere. It probably will be in the Faithfully Unleash Your Strengths. Shannon,
workbook?
I'm going to send this to you so you can read it over, right? But for
Workbook.
those of you who want it, comment. Like I want to know that. Like I want to know if this is something you're interested in, especially those who are in the strengths community. Um, I love that Eddie gave us that I get to, I don't have to. Like I love
Yeah.
that he did that. And then taking it, because this is for a workshop that I'm preparing for a church. And as I started going, it's the name of the workshop is Faith Over Formula. And so as I started
Ooh,
looking,
good name.
yeah, as I started looking at formulas that are given to us, I was like, okay, I need to go back to Eddie's I get to, I don't have to, and use that. And then I was like, no, it needs, like, Eddie gave me the foundation, just like Gallup gave Eddie the foundation, which I have that foundation now too because I'm Gallup certified. But I went through Eddie's first, so of course I will always honor that he knows a lot more. Anyway, um, from what Gallup is great. Gallup, don't get me wrong, but learning through Eddie's Unleash Your Strengths, huge, so good, and having
Yeah,
the I get to and I don't have to, but then taking and putting a biblical lens on it. It was
yeah.
just literally, because I was working on, I came down to my computer like 8 o'clock Sunday night, and I was like, I'm just going to work on this class a little bit. Finally, it was a quarter to 11, and I was like, oh, I'm not done, but I need to I need to get some sleep. And so I have just been having so much fun with this, looking at the different ways because, and then like Eddie has it in two different, I put it in one document so that you can look at the I get tos and the I don't have tos together because it's really good to also see like, yes, it's really let's see. Like I have belief or grounded in Christ. Like I get to stand firmly in the values and conviction God has planted in my spirit because God anchors me in truth and purpose that does not shift with circumstances. That sounds awesome. But
Right.
what if you're like, I don't have that and now I feel bad? No, you don't feel bad because I don't have to convince others to share my convictions because God doesn't need me to prove my faith. Just live in it.
Right.
And so you can see both sides of the same coin, right?
So let's talk a little bit about why that matters. Because for somebody who's not super familiar with the concept, even of strengths or of what it is, for me, I'm going to speak for me and why this mattered for me. Um, Living in a society and always brought up under the idea of, "Ooh, here's what you're really good at. You're good at this. That's great. But you really need to work on this. Here's what you need to improve on. Here's what you need to do better. Here's what I'd like you to do differently." And I just had this come up with a friend of mine. I was talking to her and I was like, God made you to be you. You communicate the way you communicate because that's how you were built. And this person doesn't because they were built different. Like you really need to understand. I was kind of explaining to them strengths and I've been trying to get them to do all this stuff. That's a whole other story. But and she then tried to explain that, like, I'm not trying to be critical. I happen to just communicate in a very black and white way. This is how God made me. And when you don't understand strengths and you don't accept that you don't have to be all things, that's not how you were created to try and be all things. His reply to her was, that's just an excuse. We all need to try and get better and we all need to try and whatever. And it's like, no, because here's the thing, you're opposite of her no matter how hard he tries. He would never be able to communicate like her. And no
Yeah.
matter how hard she tries, she is never going to be like, it doesn't even, her brain does not work that way. And we spend so much time trying to put our little square peg in somebody else's round circle because somebody somewhere told us we need to get better at X, Y, and Z. And this instead says, here are the things God created you to be best at. And here's the support and the proof of how you just get to thrive and live your best life in that. And and bonus, all these other things that you're not good at, instead of beating yourself up about it, here's where God tells you you don't have to be good at it because you are not the whole world. That's why I created 7 billion other people. So somebody else can be good at that.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that's huge and it's very freeing.
The other thing people need to realize is, so one of the things, my harmony is at 31. And I was like, that's so weird. I get along with people. Like the first time I saw it, I was like,
Mhm.
that doesn't even make sense to me because I get along with people just fine. But harmony, which it sounds good, right? I get to create unity and calm by helping others find common ground because God empowers me to bring peace without sacrificing truth. Awesome. That sounds so beautiful. But I don't have it high, right? I don't have to keep everyone comfortable because God doesn't need me to maintain peace at the cost of truth. Because sometimes
Yeah.
I like to drop those truth bombs on people like, nope. On the flip side, I don't have harmony high, but I have woo, empathy, and positivity all high. So that's how I keep the peace with people because my woo, I want to win people over. My positivity, I'm always trying to bring everything up. And the empathy helps me to feel what other people are feeling so that I can then go, oh, if I drop this truth bomb right now, it might not be the best for this person in how they are feeling right now. Instead, maybe I'll soften it this way or I'll help them understand that I'm truly trying to help them,
Yeah.
right? So just because you have a beautiful strength and it's in your bottom and you're like, why is that not higher? You need to look at what you have in your top strengths that blend together, that work together to make up for that. And it's going to work differently. Just like you were saying that that man is never going to be able to communicate the same way that that woman is, but they weren't designed to do that. They were designed
Right.
to communicate each in the way that they are supposed to. And that, yes, that's why the I get to and I don't have to is such a beautiful concept.
Yeah, it's very cool. I always look at it this way. So when you look at the 34 strengths, because I'm like exactly what you just said, where it's like, oh, but I want to be consistent. Like consistency is it's like such a superpower. Like I want to be like, why does that have to be my number 34? And then I always get this little visual in my brain of, have you seen that movie Inside Out with the emotions and all the little people running around in her head? I think, okay, if I focus on my top 10, I got like 10 little people running around in my head. But if I want to be all things, all 34 things, it's like, that's a good, like I got 34 little people running around in my head fighting for space. And like, that's my visual to remind myself, like, do I really want 34 little people running around in my head? Like, is that how I feel I'm going to get things accomplished in life and thrive at things? And
Oh, that's too many people talking.
I know, right? 10's a lot. So it's like,
Ah,
I don't know. That's how I have to remind myself because I get really just I don't want to say discouraged because I'm a positive. I don't when I say discouraged, I'm not like literally discouraged, but I'm just like, oh man, if discipline and consistency were in my top 10, I'm like, I would probably be skinny. That's what I tell myself. And so then I get discouraged. I'm like, why can't I have those? But I'm like, but I just wasn't built that way. I have to figure out how you find that strength within all my feelings stuff, my peoply stuff.
it's funny how you bring in Inside Out because when I first brought the idea of Christ in you and I sent it to Eddie and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I woke up with this morning and like this is what I." And he said, "It's like that movie Inside Out, but at the end when the colors all blend together into one beautiful gold shiny."
Yes.
He says, that's what this reminds me of. And I was like, yes, when it all comes together and Christ in you, that combination of everything all together, just intensified by Christ and like him living through you.
Yeah, exactly. That's so cool. I feel like that should be uh, part of your companionship workbook that goes with Faithfully Unleash Your Strengths, because I feel like there needs to be a printed workbook that we can all use to work through some of the things. And that would be a great little, 2, 3 pager. Here's what I get to do. Here's what I don't have to do. Bonus
This
insert.
is going to be somewhere. I don't know where it's going to be right now. Right now, it's probably going to be one of those if you buy the book, you get this.
Yeah.
Just because it's again, I love it. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this. Join the Faithfully Unleash Your Strengths Facebook community because I'm probably going to drop it in there and be like, hey guys, check this out. Let me know your thoughts on it. I still am working on, I'm not the biggest scriptorian, so the research that I'm doing, there might be better scriptures that would go along with each of these better verses, right? Um, so I'm open to some suggestions with the caveat that I will run everything past the big guy as I pray and go, is this the right one? Is this what it should be?
Yeah.
Because that's
Very
all.
cool.
But I thought I would share just the things that I've been doing lately have been so inspiring. And I love that it's December. I love that this is the month that we get to focus on Christ. And um, yes, we're focusing on his birth, but we need to remember that without the resurrection, Christ was just another person born, right?
Right.
So his birth is just the start, and then we get to keep celebrating.
So exciting.
Well, on that happy note, I hope that you guys all have a very blessed day, week, month. Let us know what you're most excited about this month, or if you're interested in this, I get to, I don't have to. Drop a comment just saying I want to get to, not have to. Is that too long?
Uh, that's, I was trying to think of a way to shorten it up. I'm like, and nothing. There was
I
nothing.
want it.
Yeah, I want it. I'm in.
I'm
I
in.
get to.
I get to. There we go. I get to. Give it to me. I don't know.
I want to. I get to. I don't know.
Oh, thanks for being here with us.
Bye, everyone.